Okay, let's talk about how one company took a simple little cookie, the kind you get with your coffee, and turned it into an absolute global giant. We're diving into Lotus Bakeries, and yep, it's a billion-dollar cookie story.
You know this cookie. I mean, you've definitely seen it. It's in that classic little red and white wrapper, sitting right there on the saucer next to your coffee, whether you're on a plane or just at your local cafe. It's the one and only Biscoff. So yeah, it's a simple, super delicious caramelized biscuit. But what if I told you there's a massive billion-dollar secret hiding inside that little wrapper? Let's peel back the layers and see what's really going on with this tiny snack.
This really is a story of some seriously sweet success. We're going to look at how this company went from a small, local Belgian bakery all the way to a global powerhouse that has snack lovers and investors totally hooked.
So the company behind it all is Lotus Bakeries. It was founded way back in 1932 by a Belgian baker, Jan Boone Sr. And here's a cool little fact for you. The name Biscoff is actually a mashup of biscuit and coffee. I mean, they knew right from the start what it was made for.
But this is where the story just gets absolutely wild. We're talking about the company's financial performance. Since the year 2000, its market value has multiplied by a staggering 182 times. No, that's not a typo.
And if you want to see what that looks like, well, here it is. This stock chart is just a rocket ship. It's an almost vertical climb, especially over the last few years. I mean, if you look up exponential growth in the dictionary, you might as well see this picture.
To really put that into perspective for you, since 2000, Lotus Bakeries has had a compound annual growth rate of 24%. Just for comparison, the S&P 500, that grew at about 5.6% over the same time. It's not even in the same league.
So with a history like that, you have to ask, what could possibly be next? Well, let's take a look at their game plan and see exactly how Biscoff plans to take on the giants of the cookie world.
You know, it's pretty clear what the engine of this company is. The Biscoff brand all by itself makes up more than half of their total revenue. Now, their other businesses are doing fine, but let's be real, Biscoff is the undisputed star of this show.
And it is a star that is still on the rise. Right now, on the world stage, Biscoff is the 5th best-selling cookie. And it's been steadily climbing up that ladder, chasing down absolute behemoths like Chips Ahoy and, yes, even Oreo.
And they are not shy about their ambitions. They've put it out there for everyone to see. The goal is to make Biscoff the #3 best-selling biscuit in the entire world by their 100th anniversary in 2032. That is a huge, huge jump.
So how are they going to do it? Well, they've laid out a pretty clear 4-pillar strategy. First up, just get the cookie into more homes. Simple. Second, they want to boost what they call the halo effect. You know, where people who love the cookies start buying the cookie spread, and people who love the spread start buying the cookies. Third, they want to expand when and why people eat Biscoff, so it's not just for coffee time, but for baking, snacking, you name it. And finally, keep creating more of those big-time brand partnerships.
Okay, this all sounds incredible, right? You've got a fantastic company, a product people love, and a clear plan for growth. But that brings us to the classic investor's dilemma. Is a great company always a great investment? Especially when the stock price is already through the roof.
And that right there is the million-dollar, or in this case, billion-dollar question. Is a company this good, this fantastic, really worth buying at any price? This is where the analysis starts to get really, really interesting. Let's just look at the numbers. Since 2014, the company's fundamental worth, its intrinsic value, has grown at a very healthy 12.3% per year. But the stock price, that shot up at a rate of 32.6% per year. That gap between the business and the stock is massive.
The analyst who did this research puts it about as bluntly as you can. They said they wouldn't even think about buying this stock unless it dropped by 40 to 45% from where it is now. That's a huge statement about how overvalued they believe it is.
So the bottom line here is pretty clear. The stock looks overvalued. It seems like all the excitement and the incredible past performance has caused the price to get way, way out ahead of how the actual business is performing.
So, where does all this leave us? Let's talk about what to watch for next. What are the key things that are going to tell us where this story is really heading from here?
It really boils down to 3 main things you've got to keep an eye on. First, the total number of biscuits being sold. Is that core number still growing? Second, their pricing power. Can they keep hiking up prices without people stopping to buy them? And third, how are they doing in new markets, especially across Asia and the Americas?
And all of this brings us to one final thought. There is no doubt that Lotus Bakeries is a world-class company.
They have an iconic product and a rock-solid plan. But as an investment, it really makes you ask that classic question, just what is the right price to pay for perfection?